It is now February, so that can only mean one thing for us magicians. It is time for Blackpool Magic Convention. And in today's video, I thought I would have a wee look at the running order for the Blackpool Magic Convention. I thought I would tell you about the shows I'm looking forward to, the lectures that I can't wait to see, and also the dealers that I can't wait to spend all my money at. The lineup for the Blackpool Magic Convention was announced a couple of weeks ago. I'll be honest, I know a wee bit about who's there, but I haven't really looked at the lineup. So I thought I would take you through the app and go through the entire schedule and see exactly what's on, when it's on, and things that I am looking forward to attending. Okay, so let's have a quick look. You can see the first page on the app is all these names and pictures of people that will be there. I just saw two friends of mine and I will be talking about them in a little bit. But let's go into the events, and the very first lecture, well, the convention actually starts on the Thursday. So the first thing on the Thursday is always the auction. Now the auction I actually like going to. I very rarely buy anything, but I like to see what's there because one man's junk's another man's treasure. So I pop in and out all day. I do various things throughout the day, but I pop in, I pop out, and I see exactly what's there. And I do know my good friend Fraser, who I did an interview with on the channel. There's a link up here. I know that my good friend Fraser loves watching it, the auction, and he buys a lot of stuff and he gets some good bargains. But anyway, on to the Friday. So the first lecture on the Friday is, there's actually 3 lectures at the same time. There is Bond Lee, there is David Parr, and Chris Dugdale. Now, out of day 3, I'll be honest, none of them really tickle my fancy. They're not anyone I'm dying to see. But I'd be interested to just go and see Bond Lee. But I'm going to be in the dealers, so we'll give them a miss. At 10:30, there's one that kind of interests me. There's the Hansen Chen lecture. Now, Hansen Chen, I like his magic. He's got some good stuff. I love his sparkling. I think that will probably be the first lecture that I may attend. This really interests me. It's the Dan Sperry lecture. Now, Dan Sperry, I have known of him for years, and one thing that I know him for is this kind of gothic and dark magic, but he's doing a kids show. Now, I do know that he was a kids entertainer for many, many years before he developed the kind of darker persona. I think that's going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to switch notification on, and then that way, when it comes to close to time, you get a notification saying it's about to begin. Alex Housley, who I really see a lot from her on the Magicians Only Facebook group, things like that. She seems like she knows what she's doing and that should be really good, so I might go to that. International close-up show, let's see who's in it. Blake Voigt, Blake will be good. Ashley Goodwin, good friend of mine. Speak about her in a wee minute. Sorry if I butcher any of these names. Adrian Karatala. Don't know who he is. And Yev Maskulov. Not sure who they are, but normally I recognise their faces. I actually recognise Yev Maskulov. But anyway, we'll come back to them in a bit. Close-up show might be good. So I may go see that, I'm not sure. Oh, it actually clashes with one thing that I definitely want to see is Matthew Garrett's lecture. I do love his Ninja Plus and everything else, the GIR, the, what are they called? The ring and bottle, things like that. I do love his approach to the ninja rings, so I'll be going to that, and I have heard that it's not just a sales or a dealer's dem for the ninja series, so that should be good. Chris Congreve. Chris is a very good friend of mine. I actually saw him lecture recently in Glasgow at the Scottish Conjurers Association Magic Convention, and it was really good. Chris has a lot of really good magic. I actually do some of his stuff. I do Child's Play, which is a trick that he brought out in, what, 2006 or something. I remember getting it roughly about that time. Showing my age. Jesus, that was nearly 20 years ago. There's no way that was... Wow. Right, sorry, I've just shot myself at my own age. Oliver Tabor, I've saw Oliver lecture twice actually. The first one that I saw was about 10 years ago, where he lectured on kind of more kids and stage magic. The second lecture I saw him lecture was again at the SCA, the Scottish Conjurers Association Magic Convention, and that was more kind of kids. It was openers, so it was it was more close up, and it was openers. Blake Voigt lecture, I'll really enjoy that. Paul Martin lecture. Now, Paul is a good friend of mine. I have many of his courses from the Professional Magic, the Pro Magic Academy, sorry Paul. So I've got a few of his courses from the Pro Magic Academy, and they're really good. They've totally changed my life and gave me a good structure to my business. So I'm interested to see the talk. He has been hyping it up, so what I'm going to do is switch the notification on. Moving on, the gala show. So let's see who's there. Hosted by Max Fulham. Max is one of my favourite performers, so that's already a win for me, if I'm honest. Don Chambers, if that's who I think it is, I'm really looking forward to that. Very similar style to myself. And I don't really know the other people. Artem Shechkin, I don't know how to say his name. I saw him, my friend Fraser took me to a show 2 Blackpools ago, I believe. And it was Mike Caveney's show, and he kind of headlined it. So that'll be good. Don't need to switch my notifications on, because I do know that I've got tickets for that. Cody Fisher, the Cody Fisher show could be interesting. I do Cody's comedy book test. I really like his version of the Invisible Deck. I really like that, so that could be good. But something that would be fun will be the Firehorse Friday Funhouse. Now, George Firehorse is absolutely crazy. That man there is mental. And he's one of my favourite performers. I love his Monkey of Truth. Monkey of Truth, point to the best one. I love that. So I think him as a host, he is a very successful stand-up comedian that also does magic. So I think two genres that he does, but also hosting it, I don't know what to expect, so it could be interesting. So overall, the Friday looks really good. Some good lectures. It's a good kind of warm-up to the... It's a good warm-up to the convention, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Alright, moving on to the Saturday. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the Saturday, because I do have a wedding in Scotland that I need to attend, but I will be back late in the evening. So if you are around on the Saturday only, and you see me, come say hi. I'll be there in the evening. Alright, so I'm going to just go through the Saturday as if I am there. So let's see. So yeah, Misklov, I'm not... Again, I don't really know much about him, but Cody Fisher. The Cody Fisher lecture would be really, really good. Really good for someone like me who is a comedy magician. Alright, moving on. So Brent Braun and Jonathan Goodwin. They're all on. Jonathan Goodwin's on after Cody Fisher. But Brent Braun, I saw him lecture. I saw him do a penguin lecture. And I quite enjoyed it. That would be a good lecture to go to. Jonathan Goodwin, his lecture... I remember watching Jonathan as part of Balls of Steel, which was a Channel 4 programme where you would literally need balls of steel and you would do things to try and win votes from the audience. So you would have people like the Paymen who would put staples through the hand and stuff like that. You'd have the Annoying Devil who'd go out in public and just really annoy people, but like my favourite was always the escape artist, which was Jonathan Goodwin. I remember him being tied to his bed with handcuffs and he had to get out, but he had a bed sheet above him with an iron on it that was burning, slowly burning through the bed sheet. And I remember he failed the stunt and he had big burn marks on his chest, and I thought that was amazing. So yeah, Jonathan Goodwin lecture, I do recommend that you check that out, because yeah, he's done a lot of crazy things over the last 30 years, and it'd be great to see exactly what he's done and how he achieved that. Let's see, Blake Voigt lecture, that's one that I'm gutted I'm not going to see, but Blake, I think, has some great magic, and I think in his lecture he'll teach you a lot. One lecture that I would really like to go see is David Stone. I'll be honest, I've saw everything David Stone's ever brought out, and I'd probably know a lot from the lecture, but it'd be a great show, and David Stone is one person who really puts a show on when he's doing his lecture. And moving on, we also, another lecture I would recommend is Tricky Ricky. Tricky Ricky is a friend of mine from up here in Scotland, and I've saw him lecture 3-4 times, but he's been doing magic for so long. There's so much that you can learn, and he does some really good, not just kids magic, he's got things that are kids magic, but you can apply them to the adult industry, I was going to say, but you can apply it to the kind of more grown-up magic that you might do. One thing, I remember Ricky and his dad Bill, who is unfortunately no longer with us, but I remember they do a thing and you read the words and the words make you sound like a train. You get the audience to join in. I think that's something that would be great for a adult entertainer. So yeah, recommend that you check out Tricky Ricky. The bear pit. Now the bear pit is always good fun. Basically, if you don't know what the bear pit is, you sit at a table and all the performers come to that table and they perform a set. Kind of similar to if they were in a working environment. So in the bear pit we have Rod Hogg, who Rod is a great magician and a pickpocket as well. Martin Marvel, don't really know anything about him. Jamie Williams, I've saw a couple of his tricks. For example, the key that changes into what they're thinking of, and a few other collaborations that he's done with Marvellous Matthew Wright. Also you have Matthew Garrett, again I've already spoke about him, does the ninja rings. He does it really well, it's just astounding. Chris Congreve, again, good friend of mine, and Carl Charlesworth, I don't know, I know that name but I don't know who he is. Let's have a wee look. He's from the north and he's cheeky, so a bit like me. Except I'm a bit further north and over the border, the better bit. So yeah, the bear pit should be really, really good. Let's go through this. Michael Amar. Michael Amar, it's a Michael Amar lecture. If you're a fan of Michael Amar, go. Mike Sullivan, the Wayne. This is going to be something Wayne Dobson related, obviously. And yeah, lecture routines. So it is basically, it sounds as if it's going to be just unreleased Wayne Dobson stuff, which I love Wayne Dobson. He's one of the reasons that I do magic. He's one of the reasons I do comedy magic as well. So I think that would be great. I do recommend that you check out Mike Sullivan's lecture at Blackpool. Ben Simon lecture, but again, there is the Rod Hogg lecture. I've saw Rod lecture before and it's great. He does some great close-up magic with a combination of pickpocketing, so that should be really good. Now the one thing I'm really gutted I'm going to miss. I'm really gutted I'm missing this. Hopefully I'm back in time, but my wedding finishes at 4 o'clock. It's about a 4-hour drive, so I'll probably just catch the end of it. It's the one competition. I remember they done the one competition a couple of years ago and there was some phenomenal magic acts and that. You don't know who's there. You don't know who's going to be in it. And you could have everything from a FISM award winner to Steve from the local magic club, who is just really funny and does a great comedy act. But yeah, the one's just going to be really good. Also, you have 3 really good shows. So, in case you don't know, the way the shows work is you have a 2 gala show slots. And basically you book the early one or the late one, and you go to the gala show. When the people are at the gala show, if you're not in that slot, they put on some shows. One is Tom Wright's show, Jack Rhodes and Killian O'Connor. Now, out of day 3, I'd probably go see Jack Rhodes. Now, I'm good friends with Jack, but also, I just find him really funny. We have a similar sense of humour, and we also do similar kind of magic as well. So, I'd probably go to that. But the one thing, I'm going to try and, I will be back for 11:30. But the one thing that I'm going to go see is Insane Magic. Now, I'm good friends with both Elliot and Cammy. I'll be honest, it'll be a good show. I know the kind of stuff that Elliot does, and I know, talking to Elliot, the things that they may have planned for the show. So that will be really good. Unfortunately, they're not doing Beat the One this year, but this is probably a really good alternative. So I recommend that you check this out. Stick around. It does finish at 12:30 at night, but, you know, you go to the bar after that, you continue partying. And the place that you should go is the Ruskin. The Ruskin is always busy. And also the House of Secrets, Russ Brown's House of Secrets. They are the 2 places I do recommend that you go to. Alright, and the last day is the Sunday. Now, I don't know if they're keeping the best till last. We'll find out. Alright, so I can see 3 lectures at the start of the day. Eric Leclerc, Gustavo Rowley and Tom Crosby. Now, I'll be honest, I've saw Tom Crosby lecture a couple of times. Recently, again, at the SCA, the Scottish Conjurers in Glasgow. But, unfortunately, I'm not going to go to Tom's lecture. because we are good friends and I do know a lot of his work. But I quite fancy the Eric Leclerc show. Eric Leclerc lecture, sorry, because Eric's a comedy magician like myself, and I do know that it will be really good and entertaining. So I think that kind of appeals to me a little bit more this year. Sorry, Tom, I will give you a hug when I see you if you watch this video before Blackpool. If not, then just I'll owe you one. Alright, so moving on, let's see what else we've got. David Stone lecture on the Sunday, so luckily I'll be able to catch David Stone, so I can't wait. And the second one will probably be a wee bit more wild, because it'll be towards the end of the weekend, people will be burnt out and he'll be trying to give people energy, which will be great. Eric's doing a lecture later, so I could go to Tom's, so Tom, I'll come to your lecture, okay? But I will go, actually I won't, because I want to see the Insane Magic lecture. Tom, put your lecture at a different time. So I'm going to see the Insane Magic. Actually, I can see my friend Ashley. Ashley is a card magician. Good friend of mine. I've met her a couple of times at Blackpool, and we actually done an escape room a couple of years ago. Alright, so moving on. Let's see. Don Chambers. I think I might go to Don Chambers' show. That'll be really good. Have I missed the gala show? Right, I can't see the gala show on the Saturday. On the Sunday, sorry. So, looks as if there's not a gala show on the Sunday, which is unfortunate because the gala show on the Sunday is always really, really good. But I think I'll go see Don Chambers, a boy, and his deck. That looks like the kind of show that would appeal to me. And then at the end of the weekend, one of my favourite shows of the weekend is always not the gala show. This is always a great fun interactive show. Everybody's kind of had enough of magic by that point. I know there is such a thing, and Ryan just takes the piss out of magic, and it's really good, and I can't wait to see that. I remember last year there was a strongman act, there was a few variety acts which was really good, and I think that's a great way to end your Blackpool Magic Convention with something that's not overly magic heavy, because your magic bubble ends up full and you just need that release. That is my thoughts on the Blackpool Magic Convention. I'm really looking forward to this year. Can't wait to go to the dealers, see all my friends, meet up with some new people, get introduced to them. And if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a wee thumbs up, click the subscribe button and switch the notification bell on, because every time I post a new video you will be notified. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so tell me, what are you looking forward to at the Blackpool Magic Convention? Is there any lecture? Is there any dealer? Is there any trick that you want to buy? Or is there a show that you're going to just sit back, relax and enjoy? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so write them in the comments below. And I can't wait to see you there. If you see me, come say hi. I am friendly, I promise. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.